January 5th, 2019. Good morning. Sun's shining in Ohio. It's a good day. What's going on with our government? Well, it's shut down right now. In our history, we see that government shutdowns have become a thing that occurs since Bill Clinton was president. He shut the government down 3 times. G.W. Bush shut it down twice, maybe 3 times. Obama shut it down 3 times. And Trump has shut it down once now and is planning on keeping it that way because he can't get, I believe it's 10 Democrats to vote to build a wall, to protect the citizens of the United States from immigrants who could theoretically do harm to us. The reality is American citizens have a right over anyone outside of America. So if you got an American and you got somebody from outside of America, somebody like me who's lived here their whole life, that's been working for 30 years or more, right? More than 30 years, closer to 40, depends on how young you started working. I started working for the veterinarian when I was 12. So it's kind of hard for somebody from Honduras to understand my position. I've had to struggle too. I mean, I may not be an immigrant, but my family was, and of course there are some natives in my family too. But the reality is the government shut down right now because the Democrats in the Senate can't agree with the president, who's a Republican. There are more than 2 ways to live. Being an independent, libertarian, I've called myself that for over 25 years, 30 years now. And although I was registered as a Democrat and Republican for a short time when I was young, I just kind of figured, well, I don't like one party or the other. I always choose in the middle. And yeah, I ended up voting for Ralph Nader a couple times. And I know Ralph Nader personally. I met him a few times and got to interview him one-on-one. Ralph Nader is not a bad person. He's seen as a heretic because of coming out and saying that the GM Corvair, the Chevy Corvair, was unsafe at any speed because it was rear engine and would burst into flames. Another one was the Pinto, the exploding Ford Pinto, and of course the Crown Victoria, which so many police officers ended up being incinerated in because of side collisions and gas tank problems. So Nader, this is just one thing. He's healed social issues, all sorts of things. Nader is well beyond being able to be a president now. But the reality is his ideals were strong towards humanism over a machine or technology or industry. But what we have now coming into Congress and the Senate are the young Hispanic woman, I will not name her, although I can, and the Islamic woman yesterday calling Trump a motherfucker, or we're going to get the motherfucker is what she said. She's from Minnesota. She had support from another radical Muslim in Detroit, who are elected officials who are Muslim heritage that hate Christianity. Reality is here, Winston Churchill said it best. The only thing the radical Muslim understands is decapitation. This is still the United States of America, and it always will be as long as people like you and me are here. Now, I'm all about change, and anyone who gets elected should be able to be in office, but you got to be intelligent enough to hold your own. You got to think things through beyond the others to be in office. It's not about whimsy. We want free college. We want free lunch. We want free health care. We want everybody paid for no matter how many babies they have. It's ridiculous. It's not even real. The reality is if you have a little bit of money, you know how hard it was to get it, and you aren't going to give it up. And these other people think we all had it gave to us, that we all have cars and houses because somebody came along and just gave it to us. It's ridiculous. And we're not going to start giving more away. Taxes need to be stopped to a large degree on the citizens of the United States within reason. We're overtaxed. We're taxed on the money when we earn it. We're taxed on the money if we take it out of an investment early for not being part of the machine. We're taxed at death. Inheritance tax. Welcome to America, Hondurans. If you get in, you're going to spend the next 30, 40 years just trying to survive this. It's very intense here in America. The problem is we have lost intensity because of whimsy and politics and people who don't know that think they do. A form of ignorance I talk about a time and again, where you think you know things and therefore you think you know many things. And because you can talk about it or think it up, you think it's a smart idea because the people around you said it is. Well, what if the people around you aren't well read? What if the people around you aren't critical thinkers? What if the people around you don't have the mental capacity to understand the system in the United States cannot be changed in an instant? We're about 200, going on 250 years old here in America. We're still the youngest country in the world. Everybody talks about change being necessary, but everybody always hates it. Change is important, but it can't be irrational. It can't be off the scale, scary. And you can't go out and call the president a motherfucker. Now, I can, because I'm not in office. I'm not gonna right now, because I mean, it is the president and all, but you know, if he pisses me off bad enough on the wrong day, I might say it. The reality is, for shock value to use profanity in that way, and I believe in profanity. I mean, the F word's been conjugated 16 ways. It's definitely been done more than that too. But the reality is, it's a harsh statement with hatred behind it. Once again, we find out where it is, where it's coming from. Hate, misunderstanding, unawareness in a form of ignorance that thinks it knows and can know even more because it can talk about it and get some people to support. We have to realize the reality of the society. Some people are more prone to thinking than others. Anyone gets elected should be allowed to be in office. But you're going to have to be smart enough to understand you're going to have to get smart on the topics at hand before you can run the show. And no one person runs the show. It's a team. Take care of yourselves all. Peace out.